Hey there, friendlies. How's up? That was my car alarm for a second there. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the best little live stream that I could possibly even imagine, even think about. Before we get started, I just want to do the usual, double of that, which is the part where I say, if you're listening to us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, thanks for listening. Thanks for the comments that I see sometimes pop up in the doobly-doo below the screen. It warms the cockles of my heart to know that you're watching the content after the fact, even though you cannot participate in that chitty chat right there. What else do I want to say? I want to say that if at any point tonight you love what's going on, right? Smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you really hate what's going on, that's okay. The frowny thumb works just as well. And if you'd like to take a more active role in keeping the light on around here, I invite you to investigate the join button. If you right click on it and open it in another tab, you'll see the two tiers of membership that are open to you, as well as what your hard earned cash gets you at each tier. That's a little dry in here. This, as I forgot to say, is the Bevy's Blades and Bushcraft live stream where we have, what do we got? We got bevies, we got blades, and if we're lucky, we'll talk about something bushcraft related tonight. That being said, I don't have a specific subject planned because life just keeps getting in the way. So let's see who's hanging with us, and then we will see what we're gonna chat about. Christy's in the house. Christy is a channel hero. Mark Davidson is in the house. Nice to see you. He's also a channel hero, by the way. Country Boy is popping in. Country Boy is a channel hero and a channel mod. So say it with me. Be nice, be polite, or have the banhammer dropped upon you. Let me just mute my YouTube page. Everyone's just saying hi. There we have David popping in. David is also a channel hero and a channel mod, so be nice or be. Hey, look who else is here. We got Destiny in the house. Nice to see Destiny's name popping in. Everyone's just sort of saying hi to each other, so I'm going to skip down a little bit to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Hey, look who is here. We got Susie Q popping in. How's it going, Susie Q? How are you doing tonight? How's the world treating you on this night of nights where it's all friends up in here? We lost it. Well, I did put the link to this stream in the other stream, so they'll probably show up at some point. Somebody's car alarm is going crazy out there and is bugging me. As Country Boy says, Grace is smart. She'll figure it out. David Evans says, Pam is doing remarkably well post-surgery. The pain has decreased significantly. I like that. That is very good news. I'm very happy to hear that. So Destiny's asking if the docs wrap the elbow after or brace it with something. I did see a message on Mal's Facebook or Instagram or something saying that she's excited to get back into shooting for the summer. There's a picture of her with a great big fish on a patch of ice. So I guess she spent the winter fishing. Pam is in a half cast, which is wrapped and in a sling until next week. I'm going to run out and put a brick through the window of that car. Shawnee popping in. How you doing, Shawnee? How are things in the Shawnee world? I'm pretty sure you're getting set up for gardening. You probably got all your stuff in little pots, getting prepped. You're hearing that, eh? I don't know. It keeps going off. It's driving me freaking crazy. No, it's not loud enough to be my car. I would absolutely hear it. Also, it didn't sound like my car's alarm. Put on my headphones, great noise canceling. These ones are not noise canceling. These are like old school Sennheiser radio cans, so they don't do any noise canceling. Charles and Annie in the house. Nice to see you. Are you in Alaska or the Philippines right now? Yeah, you're working. You got some peppers and soil. Onions going. Nice. I was never good at growing onions, which makes me unhappy. You'll be starting the tomatoes in April. That's cool. Whoops. Country Boy bought a bunch of seeds this past weekend. We'll start them this weekend. We have absolutely not gotten gotten on top of the gardening. We haven't. Sorry, I thought that was an important message, and it was not. Yeah, we're behind schedule for sure. Absolutely. Boopity boo! Everyone's saying hi. There you go. So yeah, I don't even know what to talk about. Russell said I should talk about my favorite movies, but that doesn't seem like how much can I talk about Star Wars? Actually, a lot. Or like When Harry Met Sally, which I have seen 47 times. I've got so many things open here. Just let me clean up some of this. What? Just because I'm looking for my YouTube page, my YouTube page, and I can't find it behind all these freaking windows. All these freaking windows. There we go. Found you. Because as I've said before, there's a bit of the comments showing up in the app, whatever this app is called, Talk Studio, and the comments showing up on YouTube are not quite in sync. Okay, hold on. Shawnee Gross says top 3 bushcraft movies. Let me think on that. Shawnee doesn't watch movies really. Fair enough. Charles and Annie are still in the Philippines. Been traveling around the country here, planning on our Alaska trip this fall. It was snowy yesterday. Today it's been rainy and it was a high of 4 and a low of 1, so it was above freezing all day. So the snow is sort of gone. But we usually start inside in those little tiny pots in around now or late February kind of thing. Russell's here. I was just telling everyone how you thought that we should talk about favorite movies tonight. And then Shawnee said favorite bushcraft movies. I wonder. Because to me, my favorite bushcraft movies are, Dick Prenneke, right? And it's not even really bushcraft. It's what the hell is it? Off-grid living, I guess. That guy, he's like the the big daddy of the whole channel concept, like say Sean James or all those others. And in fact, it's funny. My boss at work at lunchtime was saying that when she's doing her exercises, she's been watching these guys who find dilapidated old cabins and renovate them. And she's like, "What's that called?" And I said, homesteading, off-grid living, cabin renovation. because they're almost always like off-grid cabins, some dilapidated cabin in like the wilds of Newfoundland or something. Um, so anyways, it was just funny. Hold on. Hold on. Boopy boop boopy boo boo. I'm just looking. Russell says that his favorite bushcraft movie is Predator. Okay. Shawnee wants us to write a bushcraft movie. Okay, opening scene. Here's the opening scene. I don't think we're gonna write a whole bushcraft movie here. Opening scene. Close up. Like super close up of like fingers reaching into, obviously not this, but reaching into a battered, dilapidated old Altoids tin with a hole in the top, taking out a piece of char cloth, closing it, still holding the char cloth, and then cut to a close up of holding that piece of char cloth against a piece of flint. I'm talking like wicked close up, and then just tap, tap, tap. An ember lights. So then you cut to a slightly further out, still a close up, but like not not too tight, of like from behind someone's sort of the camera back here, right? So you're looking this way at folding the char cloth into a bird's nest and into flames, and then you cut to not an establishing shot, still a close up, but like of a campfire, not roaring but lit and going, and you hear, cutting and chopping food as the camera lingers on the fire, and then you do a quick fade to a guy sitting there like with bacon in a pan or sausages over the fire or something, humming to himself as the sun disappears behind the trees. That's how that's how I would open a bushcraft movie. He's next to a lake. I was going to say river, but let's make it a lake. Canoe dragged up on shore. Temporary shelter, semi-permanent shelter built. Well, temporary shelter built behind him. Flask of whiskey sitting on the ground beside him, and a battered enamel cup, or maybe a wooden cooksa. No, it's got to be a battered enamel cup, I think. What's he doing out there? Bushcraft, camping. Maybe he's out there to get some peace and quiet because, back in the city, maybe his wife keeps redesigning their house, or he's got a job that is just killing him, or maybe he just doesn't like being surrounded by traffic and noise. Maybe he lives in New York City, where it's loud all the time, and he goes out into the woods just to sort of, so that's my opening scene. David loves Predator. I liked it too. I don't really see it as a bushcraft movie though. Yeah, Prenicky built a homestead for sure. Deliverance is a good. I have not seen Deliverance. I keep meaning to do it, like to watch it. I mean, yeah, I love Dick Prenicky as well. Absolutely, patron saint of off-grid living. Excuse me. Working on your wife's visa now. Still looking online for property. Your sister and 3 of her kids were in Tuckett in the last week. I definitely hope that goes better for you and your wife than it is for Canadians right now. Deliverance is a musical? It's not really a musical, but I know where you're going there. Christy thinks my opening scene isn't bad. I think. Because you'll shoot it in a really kind of atmospheric way, right? Like the lights going down. So maybe it's like sundown light while the guy is preparing his thing, and then as he's sitting there, the warm light of the fire, and then the sun goes down behind the. No, that doesn't work. I mean, it's fine with the sun going down as the fire burns, but no, he would be building the fire at like 4 o'clock, the latest, right? You're just hitting golden hour, but because you don't want to get caught with the sun having gone before you've got everything lit. So it's not a bright day, but it's not that sort of orange evening light yet, you know? So in that case, when you do the quick fade to fire burning, excuse me, it's got to be an established fire. It's been burning for like an hour. Destiny is asking what the attraction to Alaska is. Is it the landscape, the weather? I find people's reasons for liking the location quite fascinating. I would see. Here's the thing. I would love um, to see that absolutely beautiful landscape and everything. But for me, there's nothing magical about Alaska when the Yukon territory is right next to it, right? Like if I was to buy a place up there, it would be in the Yukon because then I don't have to deal with all the stuff that you have to deal with when you move to a different country, right? But I mean, I'm dying to see the North. And like Yukon, Alaska, I mean, it's a little more foresty than a lot of the Northwest Territories is like straight up tundra. Getting up to Nunavut, it's like, I mean, I still want to see it, but if I was to build a log cabin, I'd like there to be forest around for me to get the logs from. But yeah, now granted, I just answered a question that Destiny didn't ask me. So, Charles and Annie, what's your attraction for Alaska? David says in Deliverance, there's hunting with bow and arrow. Sounds bushcrafty to me. Well, you don't have to hunt to be doing bushcrafty. New York City, get a room. uh, any upcoming bushcraft canoe YouTube channels? Any recommendations? Not right now, but I was suggested two like of those off-grid home building, dilapidated cabin rejuvenation channels. So I'm going to check them out. Let me see if I can. You guys might actually know these guys. Let me just check. There is. Come on, fool. Hold on a second here. One of them is called Luxon Bushcraft. I'll just type them into the side chat so that the spelling is there for you. Luxon Bushcraft, and the other is Scout Outdoors. So I'm going to check those two out. When I got me some time. La 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 la. Do I ever watch Lost Lakes? I have. I remember nothing, but I know that I have. Like I haven't watched a lot of Lost Lakes, but I have seen something. I am looking them up right now. Lost Lakes. I remember looking for Lost Lakes and finding something else with the same name. And then, yeah. Did they do a Quetico, like a solo Quetico? They or he or whatever. I don't remember. It's like two of them, right? Oh, they did a 5-day winter camp in Quetico. That's not what I was thinking about. I thought there was like a solo winter camping and not the 51st state. Okay, guys. Their I will tell you one thing. Their thumbnail game is on fleek, man. Their thumbnail foo is strong. But I mean, Christy, again, I was answering a question not aimed at me. David now has the Deliverance music stuck in his head, dueling banjos. You know, it's funny because with my band, we do that. Not the whole song, but we transition into it from what? What the hell do we transition into that from? Black Velvet Band. We go from Black Velvet Band, her eyes they shine like the diamonds, I think they were queen of the, into a bit of the dueling banjos. We play it really fast, gets the crowd running, gets them jumping around. It's always good when the crowd is jumping around. Hold on, I'm just sort of. I got lost. Everything jumped, and now I'm lost. And God damn, burn it. Yes. You like the remoteness and the snow in Alaska, right? Yeah, I can understand that. Hey, Windows Ranger is here. Yep, second time around, and it's funny because I haven't seen you in a long time, man. How are things going down there? How's the weather treating you today? You know, it's funny because as soon as like do a bushcraft movie was like thrown out there, I immediately thought of Deer Hunter, but I don't know if that counts as. I mean, it's a hunt. Well, what the hell is it? What the hell is that? Like, I barely remember that film. I should see it again. I've been told that I would enjoy watching it again. Jim's here, just checking in from his tropical Florida vacation. Not driving, which is nice, and there's no snow. Are you enjoying it down there? You having a good time? Christy, I think you did tell me about looks on bushcraft. But that was a while ago. I completely forgot about it. I'm just taking a look at the comments. Yeah, I love it. Destiny says to Jim, not driving, that's a change. Nice to see you here. Yeah. Nice to see Jim kicking back, relaxing. Cocoa Beach? Where is that? Where the hell's Cocoa Beach? I will look that up later. Him and his wife, Aaron and John. Right. Yeah. I will yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Watch the stuff. Yeah, and there's the problem. Like, you know, they have a 7-day winter camp at -30 igloo built in snowstorm. It's an hour and 25 minutes. I'm never gonna have time to do that. You know, they've got an 11 days solo alone in the far north. Hour 45, can't do it. Mother of the Great Lakes, 3 hours 50. I can't do that, you know. But they've got a couple that are down around the 15-minute mark, and like I can watch that as I'm doing stuff, you know. Once you get up to like a half hour, I just don't have time to invest. Honeybee in the house. How you doing, B? How you doing, B? What time is it? Okay, it's 21:31. The whiskey tonight has no age statement, so I don't care about, you know, a minute in the glass per year in the cask. But I will, if I remember, pour it like 5 or 10 minutes before just to let it sort of breathe in the glass a bit. Gonna be in the house. Oh, nice. David's had the wood stove blazing. I'm still envious of you guys who have wood stoves. Hike with Mike. Hey, there's a lot of Florida in the chat tonight. Jim is down there. Wonders Ranger, I believe, lives in Florida. I haven't spoken to you in a long time, so maybe I'm remembering that wrong. And then there's Hike with Mike. Wonder says things are going okay. Weather's been crazy here with hot and cold, or at least cold by Florida standards anyway. It's been kind of doing that here as well, which is irritating. Because like, you catch cold when the weather is bouncing all over the place on you. And stuff. Just burning pine. That doesn't even last. Pine is good for starting a fire. I mean, it's your hike with Mike. Mike grew up right by Honeymoon Island, which is his favorite beach in Florida. I do not know where any of these places are. Honeybee will be joining me with a couple of fingers of Aberlour. Is that the 12 or the Abuna? The 12 is pretty good, but the Abuna is crazy good. I mean, what I would like to see, but probably could never afford, is a 12-year-old Aberlour, right? Because Aberlour is their cast strength. With an age statement there, that would be like amazing. Destiny says, "What is the difference between the boreal and the taiga? Anybody?" Well, taiga is it's sort of between the boreal and the tundra, right? Like boreal is a pretty specific, massive forest. Whereas the taiga, let me actually check the taiga biome before I go talking out of my arse here. Because I have this image, but I haven't really learned it in a school way since I was in high school. Because I'm suddenly realizing that the boreal and the taiga might be the same thing. Like taiga might just be sort of another word for the boreal. And I would rather correct myself than happily be wrong about this. So I'm just going to look it up. Oh, AI overview. I've got to get rid of Google Chrome, but it might be useful. Taiga, Wikipedia, taiga or taiga, so Taiga, or apparently Tayga. I did not know that. Also known as boreal forest or a snow forest, is a biome characterized by coniferous forest. Okay, so there you go. There's no damn difference. There ain't no difference. Boreal has a more poetical name than taiga, but okay. David does not miss Florida. Welcome home. Raspberry Rock is already joining us with several fingers of Canada's finest. Tonight's the 12, says Honeybee. Okay. I do like an age statement on whiskey for sure. Wonders is between Dade City and Brooksville, Florida, about 60 miles north of Tampa and 60-ish miles west of Orlando. That sounds like interior to me. I mean, I'm going off of a very fuzzy mental image of like a map of Florida. Yeah, Country Boy. Yeah, is the same. Taiga and boreal forest are essentially synonymous. Yeah, which I totally forgot about. Lee Kneer, elbows up. We'll take that as a gospel truth, and then we'll move forward because I don't want to turn it into a political live stream. But your heart and mind are in the same place. Jim asks David, where did he stay in Florida? Actually, I don't know that either. Destiny says, I always thought the boreal was less populated with trees than the taiga. And it's funny because that's sort of what I was assuming as well. And I was like, really? And then I looked it up and no, I was totally wrong. So it's like boreal, and then up above that, I mean, I guess the boreal sort of peters out and then you get into the tundra. I have got to see the north. I am so dying to see the north. Um, David, in a place in St. Petersburg, which is apparently on the side that is on the Gulf of Mexico. Um, so does that side get hit with fewer hurricanes? Or is it kind of, I mean, or is it kind of just equidistant, equal because hurricanes are so huge? Like, do fewer hurricanes come up that side and hit Florida from that side than sort of out at the Atlantic? Hi, good. Mike says that Dunedin was a great place to grow up. My my old stomping grounds. As you guys know, I spent almost 20 years growing up half and half in Montreal and Vancouver. And well, half and half is BS. I went to school in Montreal, and then the day after school ended, off to Vancouver until school started again. But like kicking around the forests of British Columbia are what made me fall for coniferous trees, right? And when I discovered the boreal for the first time was actually here in Quebec, because it goes the boreal just it crowns the entire planet, right? Um, but I had already developed this real affinity for conifers. The boreal smells different than the conifer forests of sort of lower mainland BC for sure, but it's just like that. That's sort of mm, my dream landscape is conifers, rocky shore, um, water, ferns. I love ferns. Ferns are cool because they're, I mean, if I was to simplify massively, I'd say because they are relics that haven't um, evolved in millions of years, and that's not really true, right? Nothing stops evolving except maybe the coelacanth, but um, they are relics from millions of years ago, and they have changed very little from way back then. Serge is here. He's late, but he's here. That's all right. I mean, I'm not, where is Serge? It's like 9:05. Now, granted, I wasn't on at 9:05 either. Oh, I wanted to ask Lee Kneer something. I don't think I've either haven't seen your name in a really long time, or I haven't seen you before. Um, so welcome to the stream. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Well, essentially, generally, where you are. I don't mean like your address, but are you in Ontario? Are you in Quebec, BC, Alberta? So good. Tea is such a good drink. So, oh, Jim used to live in Leesburg or stay in Leesburg. Okay, so David says he would say more hurricanes, but Mike would know more. Yeah, Mike, what? Okay. Mike says, about equal odds on both coasts of Florida for storms, but I'd say Gulf Coast is a bit more threatened. Okay. I had just assumed that because the other side was like open to the Atlantic, that's where all the biggest danger would come from. But I almost never have to worry about a hurricane. Like we will get kick-ass storms, okay, and flooding, but like we're far enough inland that there's virtually no chance that we're ever going to get hit by like the storm wall of a hurricane. So I don't know much about them. Hold on a second. Destiny says, so no boreal or taiga south of the equator, getting close to the South Tundra like area. It's different in the South for sure. There's some pretty cold land, but like there's the Southern Ocean between the nearest land and the Antarctic, right? You don't have quite the same geography. What you do have is in the highlands of Argentina, it's absolutely arid. Windblown, arid, cold, just like sand, I think, or sand and rock. Jim is going to be swimming with the dolphins tomorrow, so you have to get up early. Okay, too early for vacation, yeah. So, he's gone. All right. Good night, Jim. You're probably already gone. So I do hope that you're having a fabulous time. Mike says the Gulf of Mexico is warmer is more, right? The Gulf of Mexico is warmer than the Atlantic, so it's more healthy for hurricane development. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I understand that. That makes sense to me. 2143. Somebody remind me at 10-2, and I'll pour the whiskey. I'm getting messages. Okay. Sorry, guys. I have a meeting with a couple of parents at the school tomorrow because we're on Wednesday we're going to the borough council to give the borough mayor and her team. We're gonna rip them a new asshole. So David, when he was living in Marathon, North Shore Lake Superior, there was some boreal around. That seems really south for boreal. Mike says it's spring break this week. I get to spend the week doing projects around the house, but no early spring camping out in the swamps. Mark is reminding Christy that it's her job to remind me in 6 minutes to pour the whiskey. So, okay. I was pinged by a viewer this week about. So you guys remember that that video I did on how to change the wick in a hurricane lantern, and I used the fire hand. I got this question. I'm having a hard time turning that piece on this lantern I just got, and it's the beacon. It's identical, because I asked for pictures, to the one that Russell bought me. So I just did this guy like a quick little video. I was like, yeah, it's not quite the same. You have to just sort of work it off. But that reminds me that I should do another video for the beacon style lantern. And then like maybe I should get like the idea of buying anything right now is terrifying, but I should buy like a Dietz, preferably an old one, and then do a video on that, because I kind of feel like I have to rename the fire hand one, and I should probably do videos on like a couple of lanterns and just sort of like maybe link them all together so that someone can see, but like change the name of the one that I did to, how to change the wick on a fire hand baby special, then how to change the wick on a beacon, a GSW, whatever beacon, and then like how to change the wick on a Dietz, because I think those kind of videos seem to do really well on my channel, like better than the camping or whatever videos. And also, I mean, you guys know I've been burnt all the fucking way out for like 6 months now, but the idea of making that kind of video is sort of exciting me about it, making me excited about shooting content again. But like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I do a whole series and try to find a Dietz, try to find an old Dietz and do that as well? Would anyone be interested in watching that? I mean, I know that lantern content does get the conversation going. when I do it live, thinking about that live stream with Marcus, I enjoyed massively, massively. Hold on a second. I just want to Destiny. Yeah, okay. So here's what I'm not gonna. It's not really political, but you know, they put a bike path right across the front of our school. So the buses have to stop on the other side of the bike path, and the kids have to get off and cross the bike path to get to the sidewalk. And bikers just don't stop. And we've already had a fender bender, and we're just someone's gonna get hurt, and so we're gonna go and yell at them. I just got a picture of boreal forest in Canada. Yeah. Let me see if I can show this on a screen. I said beep 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 beep. What is that song? Oh, that's Barbie Girl. Jesus. Shut up, Jesse. Okay, let me see if I can share this screen. Share. Screen. Window. Yeah, sure. Go away. It's not gonna let me show just the window. Tabernouche. It's not gonna let me show just the image because I don't want to show the messenger window. Unless let me open it in preview. Hold on. We're doing a little yeah, man. Okay, so let me hold on. Show on stream. Boom. Let me move that over there for now. So yeah, there's the boreal or the taiga. And the thing is, this green stripe, I mean, it goes all the way around, like right across the top of Russia, and it's like all the way through Scandinavia. The boreal is the biggest forest in the world. It's funny. I didn't realize it came that far south in Ontario. But yeah, so much epic beauty. The smell, the way it looks. I love it on a kind of when it's kind of cool out, 15-degree day, 12-degree day, 10-degree. Hold on. Too busy, no camping. Oh, it's catch-up time for me. Many projects you neglected. I have many projects waiting as well. Yep. Pour my dream. Yes. Okay. It's a new distributor. It's a new what's it called? Distillery. Which is why I think they might just be putting an age statement on something now, but up until now, they've just been too young. Get this out of the way. Destiny says yes to the deets. Yeah, I'll find a deets that I can afford. I don't want like an uber modern one because now they're made in the Far East, and I'm not against made in China on the whole. It's just deets used to be made in North America, and so because the old ones that's what I want, because for some of these I always want the original, something like that. But I think that a brand new deets is probably a whole lot more affordable. In fact, I think I can even get them at Lee Valley. Caramel. spice oak. Um, I'm not getting much of anything like it's not sherried, I don't think. Um, this label is completely in French. 46 alcohol by volume. This is completely in French. No, okay. There is no, I'm wrong. There is a bit of sherry. There's a red wine as well. Like that's not added into the liquid. That's just in the barrels that they finish in. It's very good. Touch of coffee, a little marzipan. Yeah, I loved that live. He's very the guy knows his stuff, and he had a lot of lanterns to show, interesting stories to tell. But that's like the dream live stream. You know, you have someone on who's really into what he's showing off, and what he's showing off isn't boring, right? Um, yeah. Serge said, just as a majestic vocabulary, and totally didn't notice he just f bombed. Did I? Russell acknowledges that the boreal exists. Well, the thing is, Russell doesn't live in the boreal, but he does live in some spectacular countryside. I mean, look, the forest around Montreal is mixed broadleaf, right? It's not boreal, but who doesn't want to be surrounded by green growing stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I love the forests on the coast of BC as well. That's not boreal. It's very much a rainforest. Um, yeah, the that coastal forest right after a crazy rainfall with the petrichor in the air, spectacular. And like I have so many good memories of the British Columbian landscape. Christy says, after a rain, it probably smells fantastic. Up in the boreal, which we shall now call the taiga as well. Absolutely, very much, and it's a resinous smell. It's an earthy but a resinous smell because so much of the tree stock is conifers, right? It's got that, you know, there's piney notes, there's spruce, that like there's the you know, the black spruce, there's the there's firs there. Oh, so nice. Sean calls it the lumber belt. Yeah, we yeah, there's a lot of it being being chopped down up here for sure. Excuse me, because you know the best building lumber is from up around there. Destiny never knew the boreal was that pervasive in Canada and the US. It's funny because I knew it was that pervasive, but I had this image of it being I kind of like you, Destiny, being slightly narrower and further north. Like I had completely forgotten that it sort of came down. It kind of almost traces the Canadian Shield, you know. But yeah, I hadn't realized that it came that far south in Ontario. Sean Alaska in the house. How you doing, Mr. Sean? How's the weather up there tonight? I hope you're having a great time. I saw that you made some juice. Serge said, "I thought the Gaspé Peninsula was part of the Boreal." No, that's mixed broadleaf, like around here. Also very nice, very spectacular um, landscape. I used to go moose hunting in the Gaspé. Just lovely, absolutely stunning. And I also love like a dramatic shoreline, you know, crashing into the ocean kind of thing. And they've got that as well. Maybe not as much as Newfoundland. Well, maybe it is. Uh, David, My fault. I wanted to show the boreal forest was on the north shore of Lake Superior, and I'm glad you showed that map because for the same reason as I checked whether or not there's a difference between boreal and taiga, um, I would rather be um, I'd rather be corrected on a live stream with all of you here than be wrong. It's funny how the boreal traces the border between Ontario and Quebec for just a little stretch there. And I'm guessing that's because there's a river that demarcates it. Like up, um, like between the Saguenay and the Charlevoix. That doesn't make sense. Never mind. Just moving right on along. Just moving right on along now. Hey, we got off grid recon in the house. How are you doing, Mr. Grid? How are things where you are tonight? It's good to see you popping in. Christy says green growing stuff that are not cacti. I'm up for that. See, to me, I loved seeing the landscape down around where you live. I had never seen something like that before, you know? Um, and like the very first time that I saw the desert in the Badlands, right around Drumheller, Alberta, on the same trip I saw the pocket desert in the south of the Okanagan, and those are my first desert experiences at all. Absolutely gobsmacked, absolutely enchanted, um, just because it was brand new to me, you know? Um, just taking a look. Yeah, I think, Mike, that I kind of agree with you. I like natural environments. I have yet to come upon a natural environment that I have not liked. Have I seen all of the natural environments? No. So, I mean, I may find the Sahara completely enchanting for like a minute and a half and then be like, okay, it's hot. But I don't know. I'm very visual, first of all. I had my mind completely polluted by art school for most of my life. So, like, I'm very, very visual. I will put up a lot with a lot if like the vista in front of me is something that leaves me completely speechless. But I'm also very compelled by the smells of the woods or of the ocean or of the lakes. Um, the day that I noticed about how much more lush a forest smells after the sun goes down and the air cools than during the day was a big thing for me. Upwards in Chicago tonight. What are you doing in Chicago? You don't have to answer that. But I don't mean like what are you doing? I mean, are you there on vacation? You kicking back and watching some stuff? Uh, Destiny says that the Siberian taiga is lit as the trees are immense. The Siberian cedar tree is my fave. I'll have to look that up. Siberian cedar, because I do love cedar. So it's one of my top 3 trees, one of my top 5. I love the smell of cedar. I love the look of it. Apparently Christy's from Chicago. Then what the hell are you doing in Arizona? Sean says it's been 40 plus all week. Happy for the thaw. The ground will be ice free soon. That sounds like it's going to be a benefit. I kind of feel that in the north, life moves in phases. Frozen ground, you do certain things. Thawed ground, you can do other things. Especially since that also probably means like thawed waterways. Hey, look who's here. Trucker is in Louisville. Louisville. That's going to mess me up every time, ain't it? I hope you're having a great time in Louisville, Kentucky. You're at a truck show, right? Destiny is happy to see Mr. Trucker. I'm also happy to see Mr. Trucker. Hold on a second. Oh, fuck, everything just jumped. Sean says, be right back, pouring an ale. That is okay by me. Country Boy is having some rabbit hole. I will have rest. Tell you what, I've been trying to, as you know, I've been avoiding it because I can't replace it. But next week, I'll have a little rabbit hole with you. That makes sense to me. We should have a little rabbit hole together. Mike wants to hike and camp in the desert. It's the complete opposite of your jungly, swampy environments. Yeah. I would love to do a bushcraft weekend in a desert environment and like film it and see just how poorly my skills prepare me for that. Like how hard it might be for me to find something to burn. Maybe I'm in a burn free zone, like in the Okanagan, uh, around the Pocket Desert. There's like no fire zones all over the place because it's arid, and brush fires can really get out of hand really fast. Okay, so Serge shared that. Okay, so what Serge shared there, which if you right click and open another tab, is an article about the Canadian forests. Like, let me just open it in a new tab. Forest regions. Great Lakes St. Lawrence Forest, that's what we live in. Arcadian Forest region. The actual deciduous forest region is only in like southern Ontario. But yeah, coast forest region I have a lot of experience with. I mean, I'm just sort of spewing. Sal shared the link, which if anyone's interested, you can check out. Destiny likes the link. I do as well. Assuming Russell heard that Pam got messed up wrestling an alligator. That's what I heard as well. I do think that she won, but the alligator really got her good. Yeah, tried to run down an alligator on her bike. I mean, it's exciting. I wouldn't do it, but it's exciting. Opgrid says, work brings me to Chicago. Travel the U.S., Canada, Mexico, fixing high precision laser systems. That sounds fascinating. Like laser measuring systems, or like lasers for light shows, or I should stop asking questions. But that sounds really cool. Okay, so Sean says, freeze up, break up, green up, brown up. The seasons of the North. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Russell's asking what I'm wondering. What ale did you grab? Wonder says, I'm talking about the idea of getting into it, collecting old railroad lanterns. Yeah, Dietz did make some. I've at one point I had a bunch of websites on like old lanterns. Dietz made some. Beacon, which is the Canadian one that I have, made some. Fascinating. I love looking at that old stuff and thinking about the world that it was built into. Like when you needed lanterns on the railroad like that, you know? Definitely nutty marzipan. Prepson says, that sounds like a Scandinavian name. Snow, rain, 3 days of summer, rain, wind, sums up the seasons here. Are you in are you in Sweden by any chance? Sean says, I grabbed a Sean special, the homebrew. Oh yeah, right. I totally forgot. Nice and malty, but needs more hops. I am malt averse, but no, I am hop averse, but I do love a nice malty beverage. So Peanut Trucker says the truck show starts Thursday through Saturday, just cleaning and polishing all day. He said right the first time. Okay, Louisville. Christy didn't realize I was ready yet. How's the carbonation now? Carbonation is perfect, but not much of a head. Very drinkable, though. So yesterday I made myself a whiskey sour. And the way many people, is not original, but it has become the standard, is that the way many people make a whiskey sour is you use 2 ounces of whiskey, uh, whatever, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, freshly squeezed, or you suck, 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup, and then like an egg white. If you don't want to have an egg white in your beverage, you can use aquafaba, which is just the liquid from a can of chickpeas, right? Like an ounce, I guess. So I tried it with aquafaba because I've always just put the egg white in, but I figured, hey, why not? Apparently, it makes no difference in the taste, and it doesn't. But it reminded me that I am terrible at shaking to get the foam, because what you do is you dry shake forever first, right? So what a dry shake is you have all your ingredients and you shake without ice, and you really hold your tins together because they'll fly apart at the drop of an excuse for like 30 seconds or whatever. And I didn't get the foam on top that I was looking for, so I didn't take a picture of it. 5.5%. That's pretty good. A standard Canadian beer is 5 to 5.5%. You made one once that had close to 10%. A lot of Quebec beer is around like 9-10%, and I think it's too much. I'm okay up till about 7. At 8, I'm like, nah. And it's just because the alcohol overpowers the taste of the beer at that point. Yes, lasers to attach to sharks and ill-tempered sea bass. Considering the instrument I play, I always sort of like read that as sea bass. Yes, Sweden, spot on. Nice. I have dreams of camping in Sweden. Seeing Sweden at all, in fact. I will one day. And while I'm there, I'll buy a custom knife, like maybe the Lars Felt knife, so that I can say that I bought this in Sweden. Maybe I'll buy a Gransford axe while I'm there too. I still don't have the hunter's axe. Maybe I'll buy that while I'm there. Hey, Beto's here. How you doing? Prepson, did I ever ask you around what area of Sweden you live in the most general of ways? I have a buddy who has a house in Dozabro, something. I don't remember the hell. I don't remember what the town's called. Anyway. And everyone's just sort of saying hi to each other, so I'm going to skip past that, making sure that I'm not missing anyone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't like it when a beer tastes too much, because it kicks right there, like at the back of my throat, and it's like, eh. Russell says, I've made beer twice in my life. The first was a nice pale ale. The second one tasted like crap. It was really strong. By the time you got to the second drink, it tasted great. My dad used to do sort of a U brew thing. He used to make beer and wine. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been out to my dad's place in a long time, because it's expensive to fly a family of 4 to British Columbia. Yes, Russell did make rum before as well. I would love to have a little distillery, like a little still, make some whiskey, make some gin, try to make some rum. Oh, you're gonna do a stout next? Yeah, man. I love stout. It's my favorite. I like red ales as well, but my favorite is stout for sure. It was really weird playing St. Patrick's Week in a country with a Guinness shortage going on. But yeah, I completely support you um, doing a stout, and I will be at your house within 5 minutes. You're partial to porter. Porters are a hell of a lot rarer here than stouts are. But it's funny because whenever someone mentions porter, it reminds me, like, when my grandma was 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 pregnant, she'd send her kids to the store to buy her a bottle of porter because that was this philosophy that porter was good for pregnancy. Surprises me that my aunts and uncles are all still alive. Actually, they're not. I don't. They're not. Jess, come on. What are all these icons? Oh, I see. Let me remove the map from the stream. David started brewing his own beer in uni. Dorm room smelled like a brewery. I'm not sure how good a brewery smells. Yeah, it's high sugar and lots of carbs. Guinness advertised the heck out of that. Yep, that's true. Am I getting beeped at? No, it's a bedtime reminder. Leave me alone, bedtime. Yeah, I'd love to make my own booze. There's a legal issue with it here. I mean, it's not illegal, but you do need to be permitted, and getting the permit is really, really hard. So it may as well be illegal, but I'd still like to do it. Like, if I was independently wealthy, I'd buy a still. Get a couple of barrels, put up a barrel of 100% rye. Rye is really, it's a lot. No, it's not really hard to make, but it's a much more of a pain in the arse than like a single malt is, or a bourbon style. Because it thickens up and you got to keep it sort of moving. But yeah. Sean says Vevor sells stills. I do not know what Vevor is. I do it anyway. I do not condone doing it anyway because it is illegal, and I do not know people who have done such things. Moving right along. Russell's gonna make rum again. Yeah, man. I support this. Found a really cheap supply for molasses. Hey, holy crap! Austin's Corner in the house. How are you doing, Austin? We have so far tonight discussed lanterns, home brewing beer. We've discussed the boreal forest. I have outlined my plan to make some more videos about changing the wick in a hurricane lantern, which means I should probably get a Dietz so that I can do one on those, because that's kind of in my opinion, Dietz is like sort of the Kleenex of these lanterns, right? It's the one that everyone has seen, right? It's the big boy in this sort of industry. Does anyone have a disagreement with that to share? What the hell did that mean? Does anyone disagree? Like, does anyone think that there's a different brand that's actually bigger than Dietz? Austin's got a couple of foyer hands. I have one foyer hand, and I love it. I would like to get another one. Once you work in shipping and exchange, it's not a non-trivial purchase, shall we say. David Evans says, I sometimes sold it to the under 19-year-old kids. Why under 19? Oh, is 19 the drinking age in Ontario? Sean has an old timer friend in town that makes an incredible bourbon. I would like to try that someday. Russell says more like a Bacardi White, but with more flavor. I'd try it. Yeah, Austin has a couple of fire hands. Because the first video I did was about the fire hand, and I have a beacon, and somebody contacted me about beacon just randomly. Well, actually, it's because he saw my video where I bought the new globe for mine, and he had just bought a beacon, and he couldn't get the whatever it's called off because he was trying to do it the way the fire hand works. And when I figured out how the beacon one worked, I was like, should I do a new video? And now I'm sure that I should do a few videos on changing the wicks in hurricane lanterns, because they don't all work the same. A vintage one you picked up, Stand West, Jeremy. Nice. Oh, man, I love me some vintage gear. Sean says, just an FYI, the aurora is supposed to be off the hook tonight, showing itself into the Midwestern states. Let me just show you what my weather looks like tonight. See all those clouds? Like, at this point in my life, I don't even bother, because every time there's something beautiful and celestial happening, we get clouded out. Every single time. Austin's Corner. I think your assessment is right. Dietz is probably the Canadian Tire Hurricane Lantern of the people. Yeah. I'd like to find an old one that I can afford. Country Boy says 19 is the drinking age for most of Canada. Okay. 19 makes no sense. I mean, you can vote at 18. Oh, you too, Sean? Oh, that sucks. The only time I've ever seen the aurora was when I was sitting in a hot tub in Alberta, partway through an Alberta tour that we do every year with the band. Unfortunately, that hot tub has now been sold, along with the house it was attached to, so we won't be going there again. Booty ba booty ba boop ba bum bum. Whiskey's over. Yeah, I don't think Russell can show it for various reasons. Brown sugar. Brown sugar on the finish. Lots of sweetness in there. Yeah. We're at 2220. So, if I was to tell you guys, if I was to describe the theme of tonight's live stream, it would be, if I was independently wealthy, I would build an off-grid cabin up in the Boreal and install a still where I would put up a barrel of single malt and a barrel of rye, while simultaneously acquiring hurricane lanterns and making videos about how to change the wicks on various different styles. That is tonight's live stream, an aperçu of tonight's live stream. Yeah, I think oh, hold on. David's off to bed. All right. Yes, I'm sure it has been a rough couple of weeks. Sleep well. All my best to Pab. Excuse me. Austin says, interestingly, the Amish around here use white gas Colemans. Many a fire from those rockets. Wow, yeah. I'm surprised that they use those Colemans. Yeah, Russell definitely doesn't want the OPP showing up at his cabin. Oh yeah, happy birthday, David. Shite, I think he's gone. Oh well. That's okay. That's fine. We're all friends here. Did I show you guys this, by the way? This is a knotting kit by the Bear Essentials. Um, OP members of my channel will recognize that name from one of the um, buck saws that I have. So inside, it's 2 bits of rope, a hemp bag, and then it's a little card with a card. It's a bunch of little cards with like lashing and knots and stuff in it. And I bought it and I was going to be like, I am going to spend all my free time learning or reminding myself of knots and blah, blah, blah. And I've hardly even touched it. But this summer, I think I will spend much time. Because the thing is, I've learned all kinds of knots, and because I almost never use them because I never have any time to go to the freaking forest, I forget them all the time. It's not like riding a bike. It's not. I joke that if I won the Powerball, I would buy everyone in my small town a model car in the same color. Hold on. If I was independently wealthy, I would absolutely have several lanterns. And another one of these 90Ds. I'd love to have 2, because this one I would just leave there. And the other one I would just carry around for my, for my filming out in the woods. Russell says, if I won the Powerball, I would give all the money to myself. Fair enough. I mean, a lot of us would. I think the Powerball is big, isn't it? It's $1 bazillion. Destiny wants to know who won the new ATV from Roll Up the Room to win. I didn't even know there was an ATV on the ticket. If I'd known that, I would have entered. I would have rolled up a couple of rims. Where would I put an ATV? Right? I would have to spend money to put a trailer hitch on our vehicle, and get a small trailer and park the ATV somewhere where I would not be afraid of it being stolen, because we live on a street that has a lot of thievery. But it would still be pretty sweet to win one of those. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like that Argo. You know, it's a 6-wheeler with a stupid little, almost a bike handle kind of steering. But apparently it floats, like you can go onto water and then go up onto shore. I have heard that they're not extremely good. Like apparently they break down a little bit, but I just love the idea of that thing. Argo, right? Am I thinking about the right thing? Argo. Yes, the Argo. The Argo XTV. Let me just sort of bring it on up. Reject all. Here, do you guys know this? Do you know this? The Argo XTV. It's not showing on screen yet, right? I mean, no, yeah, this is what I'm thinking about. These guys here, right? Like whatever. Here, 6-wheel. Yeah, right. I mean, they ain't cheap. So let's click on this one because it's camo, so it's obviously cooler. So you can have 4 people on land or 2 people in water. Obviously, because you don't want to have too many people and too much weight and sync the thing. Please accept cookies to access this content. No. Doesn't say what the engine actually is, except that it's a it's a V-twin fan cooled. Okay. Got a clutch, got a classic transmission, progressive steering. Yeah, so it's essentially a mountain bike steering yoke, which is okay. Steel rims and tires, but I think amphibious, right? That's cool. Winch and brush guard. Oh my god, this thing is so cool. But I think you can I think there's a model or something or an option where you can put tracks on them as well. I'm not willing to go to the mats for that statement though. I'm just seeing the Conquest XTV. Holy crap, 52.9. Nope, but I do want to look at it. Funny. So on this model you can have 6 people online, but it's still 2 people in the water. It's good to know. Bigger engine, different transmission. Same heavy duty rack, amphibious body. What's the steering like on this one? I think it's probably the same silly mountain bike steering, but oh wow. They're doing that? So this is a copy of a Russian thing called a the name escapes me. Anyways, I mean I didn't mean to sort of deep dive on this, but Argo's Austin says there was an Argo dealer around here. Very cool machines. Yeah, I think they look really cool. I can't afford one, but Austin has a Kawasaki Mule. Nice. Yeah. Raptor Wrench. How you doing? How's it going? No suspension in an Argo. That is, I believe, the truth. Yes, I have read that somewhere as well, or seen it on a YouTube or something. Yes, Sherp. Yes. So that Raptor, not Raptor. That that XTV, the one that I said is a copy of a Russian thing. Yeah, it's a copy of a Sherp. Yeah, I'm not. Austin says your spine is the suspension. Absolutely. What was that? The Sasquatch. Yeah, yes, Sasquatch. Thank you, Destiny. Yeah. Russell also knew exactly where I was going. Yeah, the Sherp. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Guys, I don't think I'm going to make it to 11. I'm exhausted. You know what? Let's just eBay a Dietz, just to see what they cost right about now. Should we do it? Would you guys be interested in watching me do this? I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to answer, and then I will just go and do it. Christy says, sure. So I'm going to imagine that she was talking for everyone. Screen. Countryway also says, sure. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so Dietz lantern. Dietz little wizard lantern. So that's a brand new one. Oh, look at that. So that is what's called a hot blast lantern. I haven't seen one of those for sale. And so, okay, here's the problem with eBay for me. Okay, so this brand new one is $61.55. from the United States plus $27.55 shipping. Am I going to do that? No, because if I go to Lee Valley, it's cheaper than that in free shipping. Oh, I really love that. The second one down, the Rarity, it's crystal glass front lantern, early 1900s. That's a hot blast lantern, and I would love to have a hot blast lantern as part of my collection, just so that when I'm talking about lanterns, I can talk about them. The hot blasts are not as efficient as the cold blast lanterns, but I love the historicity of them. But there you go, 94.50 Canadian, right? And that's with only 3 bids on, right? So there's still another 5 days left, plus 51.20 shipping, 51.19 shipping. What? Here's a vintage Dietz railroad lantern from 1954. So it's $12.89, but that's with 0 bids and like another essentially 7 days left, right? And it's $50 shipping. So this is kind of the Dietz, this top lift lantern. No chips, no cracks and globe. Again, essentially $58 in shipping. Like, you can't do it. Antique Dietz Victor lantern, vintage antique, $115 essentially, and another 30 for shipping. Interesting. So this one with the blue background has a reflector behind it. But yeah, like this is why I haven't bought one, right? Because when you're looking at vintage, oh, there's a little wizard. Now there's a railroad lantern. Looky da. Oh, that's cool. Absolutely cool. But so it's approximately 73 Canadian dollars plus approximately $52 shipping. Like, no, I can't do it. Absolutely can't do it. Raptor has his old 4-wheeler still. He's on your homestead forever. They run forever if you if you sort of keep them in good stead, right? Destiny says historicity in the quotable quotes. Is historicity not a regular word everywhere? Tea is a fantabulous drink. Although drinking tea at 10:35 at night is going to be excellent for the sleeping. Excellent. You know what? Let's just look at a couple of other things. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's untenable. Getting one of these. Oof! Look at that. Here's a vintage Dietz number 8. I love it in that blue, but like $130. Well, then you add the shipping, so it's almost $200. Nope. Oh, look at this traffic guard red lantern. That's cool. See, I love that. But I mean, 55 plus 32 shipping. God. Here's the thing. Well, that's a buy it now price. Let's click on that. It's not a matching globe. It's an embry globe. Still a very cool old lantern for sure. I don't know if that's not really going to. That would not be useful for my channel, like for doing the videos, right? Because like I would just be doing a standard hurricane lanterns. Is Marketplace popular in my neck of the woods? Yeah. I don't find a lot of cool stuff that I'm interested in, unless it's bass guitars, in which case I see a lot of really cool stuff. But I mean, I'm not in the market for bass guitars. But like, I don't see a lot of axes or bushcraft gear or lanterns or stuff like that. Sorry, guys. Oh, I'm so tired. You know what? I'm gonna shut her down at 10:45 tonight. I think I really need to go to bed. I'm really sort of hurting here. Um, but yeah, like maybe I should check the marketplace. You know, marketplace. Um, I just never seem to have the time to go somewhere to buy something. Although, I picked up a couple of cool things off of marketplace. I bought my wife a bunch of like punch bowl glasses that match the punch bowl she bought years ago at a marché aux puces. Oh shit! What the hell's a marché aux puces? Flea market. Like I found the glasses that match it, um, which was really cool. Actually, I think she found them and sent me to buy them. Destiny says, "All right, bonsoir tout le monde. Thanks for another interesting Tuesday live. Until next time, bisous." All right. So Destiny's out even before we're shutting her down, but that's okay. That's okay. See you next week, Destiny. I hope that you have a fantabulous week. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I should take a look at marketplace or like Kijiji. Is Kijiji everywhere? It's just that it's such a silly name. It kind of sounds French Canadian, but Christy, see you next week. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. You know what? I mean, if yeah, it's 22:39. So at 22:40, we'll shut her down because if Christy and Destiny are gone. But yeah, I'm really tired, and I'm struggling to maintain an air of um, interest, fabulousness. I mean, the fabulousness is definitely not there. Russell's still here. Good old Russell. Good to the last drop or the last second. Yeah, everyone say good night to Destiny and Christy. Okay, it's 20:40, 22:40, and I'm just too tired to stay awake. So I'm gonna shut her down until next week. I do hope that between now and our next meeting, everyone just stay healthy, stay sane, stay safe, and be kind to one another. Good night, all.